Hello, class. This week was one of my favorite weeks with the poetry section. I love Jack Prelutsky. It's one of the New Kid on the Block is one of the only books I've kept out on my bookshelf throughout my entire life, basically. It was published in 1984, and it is just filled with funny poems. Shel Silverstein does the same type of collections. They both use very rich vocabulary, figurative language. Some of the poems are short, some of them are longer. Many of them are challenging, funny, super relatable. I think that those are all things that encourage children to read them, think differently, and just enjoy poetry. It's not some boring poem about leaves turning colors or something like that, which I'm sure are beautiful, but I don't think a third grader would really appreciate the leaves changing on the tree as much as maybe a grown-up would. So like I said, those are some of my favorite poems. Shel Silverstein, Light in the Attic, and Where the Sidewalk Ends are both books I loved to check out at the library. I was able to buy the New Kid on the Block, and like I said, I still have it, so I just love all the creatures and the people and the greedy granny. Homework Oh Homework is a poem I memorized when I was young, and I still remember it. I tried to teach it to my daughter not very long ago, and she just thought I was crazy, like making stuff up. But super fun. One of the other books I read was by Jacqueline Woodson. Was Each Kindness, and it was published in 2012. And Each Kindness is not like any poetry book I've ever read, or I wouldn't really consider it a poetry book if I had just pulled it off the shelf and not known. So I would say it's more like the verse novel, like it's not rhyming, it has a super great message. It's about a new girl that comes to school, and this other group of kids, all the kids really, were not nice to her. They didn't accept her. She appeared to be on the poorer side, and she just was not. She did everything she could to be happy and try to create conversation, and everyone was just really mean to her. And it almost made me cry, like in the beginning, hearing it. Everyone's been the new kid at school. It's been your first day. Everyone has those moments where they just want to be accepted, or just want someone to call at the moment you need them. Like, it may not have been a whole school year, but everyone, I think, has experienced a moment where they just feel like they need something and aren't quite getting it. And towards the middle of the book, the teacher shows them basically the ripple effect of how kindness works. So she dropped a pebble in a bowl of water, and the kids watched, and she explained how the ripples went out, and that's how kindness spreads. Like, if you're just kind to one person, maybe they're kind to another person, and so on. So the teacher passed pebbles to all the students, and when it came to the one student in particular, she doesn't have anything kind to share. So she was really upset about that, and it really changed her perspective on things. And it was just good that like one lesson could hit someone so hard. And I really enjoyed this. I try to teach my daughter, always be kind. You don't have to like everyone. You don't have to be friends with everyone, but you must always be kind to people. So I thought that was just a really great book. The other one I read this time, I read most of them that were the in the lineup there, but another one that I enjoyed was My Hippo Has Hiccups, and that was 2009 published, and it's by Ken Nesbitt, and that one was a collection of funny animal type humor, all different kinds of Jack Prelutsky and Shel Silverstein type poems. I love the rhyming. I love Dr. Seuss for that reason. I love just the magic of hearing the rhythms and the sounds, and this was another thing, another collection like that. So My Hippo Has Hiccups and Other Poems I Totally Made Up, which is hilarious just in the title. But a couple of other ones, I like the way these poems opened up the kids' eyes, like, to different perspectives. So one of them that stood out to me was, I Think My Dad Is Dracula. So the kid is talking about how his dad leaves at night, he never goes out in the daytime, he sleeps in the daytime, and even though they don't sleep in caves, he thinks his dad is Dracula. Well, his mom at the end laughs, and she's like, no, your dad just works the graveyard shift. So it's just cute to see the different perspectives from a kid to an adult. My Parents Are Making Me Crazy was another one that kind of did the same. It was a little different. But it was so relatable. It was like, mom tells kid to do something, dad tells kid to do something, mom tells kid to do something, dad reinforces it and tells them to do something else. And it's all the same thing. It was basically, get your chores done, get your homework done. But the kid was just feeling overwhelmed and frustrated, and it was just like, my parents are making me crazy. So that was just super relatable, I feel like. Everyone's had that day at work or school or home or whatever, where you're just so overwhelmed with people telling you. It's just like, please just stop. Let me just get it done. So I think that's everything I have. I love this section. All the poems are super just great all the difference. Have a great week.